You ever play a game and then you don't play the game for a little bit, and then after a while you realize it's been a long time since you played the game, and then you think, I guess maybe I'll never play that game again. And then that feels kind of sad, because you think, the last time I logged in, I didn't know that was going to be the last time I'd ever play the game. It didn't feel like the last time. It just felt like I was logging in to play, and then somehow I never came back. And then you think about all the people who maybe you could have played the game with, and people who maybe you won't ever see again. Probably just because you only have so much time in the day to play games and something else caught your attention. And yet it's still a sad thought. That whole notion of you look at your friends list and you see somebody who never leveled up anymore, and they haven't been online for a very, very long time. And I think about how we go through our lives, and we don't ever think anything's the end usually. You know, I had a good friend, and you know, we were pretty close for some years, and then we worked in different places, and it just stopped being practical to hang out, I guess. And we didn't talk for a while. It wasn't really that we said, okay, we're not gonna talk anymore. It wasn't like that. It was just life happened and paths led in different directions. And I remember one time, this person I'm thinking of, you know, she called, and I was at work just kind of doing my thing, and I remember she called, and it had been a while. I hadn't talked to her, and she just wanted to talk about kind of stuff going on in her life, her concerns she had about her kids, and she was worried about them, and I think one of them was having maybe a health problem or something. I don't know. She just wanted somebody to talk to, and so we talked for maybe 15 minutes, something like that. And that was just a once-off conversation we had. And then I just never really thought to talk to her again. Never called, never really followed up again. And then after a while, a few years passed, and somebody who was a friend of a friend reached out to me to let me know, you know, by the way, that she had died. And she had a funeral. I would have been invited if I would have lived in the area. Didn't live in the area anymore. So I just I remember folding clothes, doing some laundry, folding clothes, and looking at this note from somebody letting me know that an old friend had passed away. She wasn't old. It was just a tragic thing. Left her husband and I think 3 kids, and she was dead. And I thought about all the time that we'd spent together, and I thought about how we had drifted apart, and I thought about the last time we talked. And what really stood out to me is just how it never felt like this thing of finality. It didn't feel like it was the last time. I didn't think, okay, this is it. You know, our friendship is over. It just went from being something that was every day to being something that was in the past. It's like that when you see some gamer that hasn't logged on for a real long time. Some old friend who you hung out with, and you said, well, we'll see you around, and you thought maybe we'll hang out next weekend, and then it turns out a decade went by and next weekend never came. So as I think about this, I contemplate all the things in life that we have the opportunity to turn our back on. That you can log out for the last time and you can just walk away from things. You can say, I'm done with that relationship with that person. I'm done with that game. Never going to come back. Done with that hobby. Whatever it is. You can always kind of move on and leave a trail of things behind that you're never going to come back to. And to some degree, that's unavoidable because we don't have enough time in life to devote it to everything. Like, you can't split all your time up in infinite number of pie slices. But I also think that there's something to be said for, keep the door open a crack. Maybe you're not hardcore into that game anymore, but you can still log on once in a while. Pop back in. Maybe you'll see an old friend in there. You don't have to go hang out with your old friends that you grew up with or old coworkers from a decade ago, but it wouldn't hurt you to maybe say hi to them on their birthday or on Facebook, or pick up the phone and take that small risk of giving somebody a call and saying, hey man, how are you doing? And maybe they don't reach out to you. It's not a huge thing necessarily for you to reach out to them anyway. And you think sometimes, well, why would I even care about other people? Because, it's not like they're going out of their way for me. But sometimes it's kind of a thing where you get something out of this yourself. By keeping the flame of hope alive, by keeping that lamp lit by the golden door, by standing there saying, I'm still going to keep a light on in the window for you. The door is still going to be open. And then sending out a call sign once in a while to let people know you didn't forget about them. It can feel thankless, it can feel tiring, but in the end, I think it does you more good than it does harm. It makes you remember the kind of values that make life worth living. Faithfulness and devotion, things of fire and hearth, as Jack London once put it. People have their demons, people have their challenges, paths come and go, they cross, they divide. But sometimes constance is a good thing, consistency. Just like the Statue of Liberty standing over the harbor in New York as an ever-present reminder that even though times change and centuries come and go, there's something that stands as a relic of the past to remind us that old times are not forgotten. pick up the phone, cherish other people, take time to stay in touch just a little bit, and also learn to celebrate the moment. Because even if you try to keep doors open, even if you try to be a good ambassador, there's going to be times, unavoidably, when you reach the end of the road and you don't know it. When you think that tomorrow's just going to be another day at the office, but for some odd reason, you're never going to go back to the office. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computer, in a commencement speech to some graduates, once said, "If you live each day as if it is your last, eventually, it most certainly will be." And he said, if you get up every day and you don't feel too sure that you're proud of the things that you're doing, or you're proud of the face you see in the mirror, then do something different. Trust that everything happens for a reason, but don't be a person who closes doors out of bitterness or takes moments for granted. Because in the end, we're all going to get rolled up and buried. We're all going to be dust. So it's important to treat people with respect and kindness. And it's important to understand that the most precious commodity we have, it's not money. It's not our selfish interests. It's being mindful and grateful and patient with the time that we have. Good luck on your journey. I do think as we go through life, we should always learn a little more every day to be more willing to take time for the things we love, and also to understand we do not have time to waste on things we don't. In any case, till next time, good luck on your journey, and thank you for watching.